Top 10 Spies Who Destroyed Nations. The Secret Agents Who Changed History Forever. Friends, there's a silent war always happening in every corner of the world. A war with no tanks, no missiles, just information. And sometimes, a single spy, just one person, changes the fate of an entire nation. Some spies inflicted so much damage on their enemy countries that their economic system collapsed, and some never even recovered. Today, we're going to look at 10 such spies in the world whose single move tore countries apart, and whose work's impact can still be felt today. Welcome to Top 10 Spy Agents Who Destroyed Nations. 10. Oleg Penkovsky, Russia, UK. During the Cold War, the world was divided into two camps, America and the Soviet Union. But there was one man in Moscow whose name was Oleg Penkovsky, a high-ranking officer in the Soviet military, who was secretly working for British and American intelligence. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, 1962, he gave Soviet missile technology and nuclear deployment plans to the West. This information was so critical that it prevented World War III and exposed the USSR's military strategy. Later, Penkovsky was caught and executed, but the intelligence he provided damaged Soviet prestige so much that Russia had to rewrite its military doctrine. 9. Mata Hari, Netherlands, Germany, France. She was a dancer, a celebrity, and a master manipulator, Mata Hari. During World War I, Europe's top generals and politicians were her fans. But no one knew that between those coffee meetings and dance shows, she was trading information, playing espionage between France and Germany. Mata Hari delivered confidential military secrets to Germany. France accused her of being a double agent, and in 1917, she was shot. Even today, historians debate, was she really a spy or just a scapegoat? But her case shook France's internal trust system and delayed their intelligence reforms for decades. 8. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, USA, USSR. This was a husband and wife pair, and they betrayed their country, the United States of America, in the biggest way. Julius and Ethel Rosenberg gave America's atomic bomb secrets to the Soviet Union in the 1940s. With the technical drawings and nuclear data they provided, the USSR built its own atomic bomb in just 4 years. The result? America's monopoly ended, and the Cold War's balance of power changed forever. They were executed in 1953, but experts say, if not for the Rosenbergs, the nuclear arms race might have started 10 years later. 7. Klaus Fuchs, Germany, UK, USSR. Another nuclear spy. But this one was a scientist, Klaus Fuchs, a German scientist who worked on Britain and America's Manhattan Project. He secretly gave every atomic formula and bomb design to the Soviets. When the USSR's first atom bomb exploded in 1949, America was stunned. "This is our exact design." Fuchs single-handedly accelerated the Cold War's nuclear balance. Experts say he moved the entire global security timeline forward by 5 years. 6. Eli Cohen, Israel, Syria. The most daring spy in Middle East espionage history was Eli Cohen. Working for Israel, he infiltrated Syria's top political circle, so much so that he gained access to the Ministry of Defense. He sent the military posts and defense layouts of the Golan Heights to Israel. This very intelligence was used in the 1967 Six-Day War, and Israel destroyed Syria's fortifications in hours. Eli Cohen was caught in 1965 and publicly hanged in Damascus. But his work broke Syria on both military and psychological levels. Experts say Cohen defeated Syria even before a war began. 5. Richard Sorge, Germany, USSR. During World War II, there was a German journalist, Richard Sorge. But in reality, he was a spy for the Soviet Union. He was a close aide to Germany's ambassador in Tokyo and could directly send information to Hitler. Sorge gave Moscow a crucial warning: Japan will not attack the USSR. This one message allowed Stalin to send his Siberian troops to the West Front, and those very troops saved Moscow from Nazi invasion. One spy's information changed the outcome of World War II. Richard Sorge was caught and executed by Japan, but the USSR posthumously gave him the title of Hero of the Soviet Union. 4. Kim Philby, UK, USSR. There was a trusted officer within British intelligence, Harold Kim Philby. He reached a senior position in MI6, but secretly, he was a KGB agent. Philby gave the names of hundreds of British and American agents to the Soviets, many of whom were then tortured and executed. His betrayal collapsed the entire Western intelligence network. Britain had to rebuild its entire espionage system, which took decades. Philby finally went to Moscow, where he was made a Soviet hero. 3. Aldrich Ames, USA, USSR, Russia. In the last phase of the Cold War, there was a senior CIA officer, Aldrich Ames. From 1985 to 1994, he sold the names and missions of his own colleagues, CIA agents, to the Soviets, in exchange for millions of dollars. The result? Dozens of US informants were caught and killed in the USSR. America's Soviet spy network collapsed. Ames's betrayal crippled US intelligence for decades. The CIA completely changed its internal security policy after this, and it took 15 years to rebuild the trust system. 2. Ryszard Kuklinski, Poland, USA. Polish Army Colonel Ryszard Kuklinski made a dangerous decision during the Cold War to give information to America against his own communist allies. He leaked NATO and USSR war plans and completely exposed the military strategy of the Warsaw Pact countries. The US understood Eastern Europe's nuclear deployment from his intelligence. For Poland, he was a traitor, but for the West, a hero. Kuklinski's work crumbled Soviet influence in Eastern Europe and indirectly played a big role in the collapse of communism. 1. Ashraf Marwan, Egypt, Israel. And now, the number one spy. Ashraf Marwan, Egyptian President Nasser's son-in-law and Egypt's highest-level advisor. But secretly, he was spying for Israel. He told Israel about Egypt and Syria's attack plans even before the Yom Kippur War, 1973. The intelligence he provided saved Israel from heavy damage and changed the geopolitics of the Middle East forever. After the war, Egypt spent decades rebuilding its military and diplomatic confidence, but never fully recovered. Marwan's identity was leaked years later, and he died under mysterious circumstances in London, falling from a balcony. Was he silenced, or did he jump himself? This mystery is unsolved to this day, or some historians also call him a double agent who was appointed by Anwar Sadat to deceive Israel and provide false information. Friends, spies are not just secret agents. They are architects of time, whose actions change the entire political and economic balance of the world. These 10 people proved that a single person can break a country from within, without bombs, without an army, without war. And this is the true power of espionage. Destroy without being seen. If you liked these stories, then like, share and subscribe, so we can bring you more of those secrets with which the fate of the world was written and never remained the same again.